Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, what is the opposite of peace?
War.
What's the opposite of peaceful?
Turbulent.
Distressed, turbulence. Okay. Do you know anyone who has financial distress? Do you know anyone who has financial distress? Just throwing it out there. Do you know anyone who would like financial peace?
Yes.
If I could give you financial peace, would you take it?
Yes.
Amen, I heard. Well, let me tell you. There are some startling statistics. 60% of people say they have moderate to great financial distress. One out of every 2 people, say that they would not be able to make it for a month if they did not receive their paycheck. They don't even have 1 month worth of expenses saved up. Half of the people. 44% of the people, when asked how they plan for retirement, they said they guess. 44%. If you could get financial peace in 100 hours, of commitment, if you could get financial peace, would you do that? Because it's for financial peace, right?
Yes.
If you could do it in 50 hours, who would do that? Can you show me who would do that? Okay. What about if you could do it in 25 hours? Just 25 hours and you could have financial peace. What about just 13 hours? Could you give just 13 hours to actually feel at peace with your finances? If you have never heard of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, then that is what I would like to share with you this evening. I am so fortunate to be a facilitator for our church of Financial Peace University. So I'm going to tell you the what, the why, and the how. First of all, what is it? So Dave Ramsey is a financial counselor. He has a TV show that is an hour a day. He also has a radio show and has for many years. He's someone who's lived this whole process, who by the age of 26 was a multimillionaire and then turned around and lost it all, bankrupt, the whole 9 yards, and then retaught himself and relearned through research and practice how to build up a series of common sense habits that make perfect sense when you actually sit down and look at them, and you've just never learned that habit. And the reason people are so bad with their finances, me included, is because you never actually learned and were disciplined in better habits. And that's what this does. So Financial Peace University is a 13-week course. You can now take it online at daveramsey.com. 13 weeks, and each one is about an hour program. So in 13 hours, you could get all this information and take it in. How most people take it is through their local community center or church, because it becomes then you watch the hour video and you have a little discussion afterwards to kind of work together in a group and share and absorb the information a little bit. Maybe that's going to take you 2 hours a week for 13 weeks. But you can go online, you can talk to people in this room who've done it, and they will tell you that Financial Peace University changes people's lives because it changes the way you look at things. So what is this whole magic process? It's nothing about how to invest in real estate or any kind of gimmick or scam or anything like that. It's common sense. It has 7 baby steps. If I give you 7 baby steps, you might even want to write this down because you'll get the crash course. Can you remember 7 baby steps?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the first one is, what is the program? First baby step is $1,000 in a savings account. It's your emergency fund, because here's why. One of the things that stresses most people out is that everything that is unexpected, whether that's a flat tire, or the battery goes out, or you have to get your carpets cleaned, or it floods in your house, or whatever it's going to be, becomes a crisis. Because you didn't have that money set aside. And so on top of not having the money, you are elevated into a huge level of stress because that became a crisis. If you would just set aside $1,000 first, then work on just living within your budget, when those blips come up, the kids are going to need new shoes. They're going to have dues for activities. But even though it was unexpected, you have some cushion for that. You have your emergency fund, you just pull it out of there with no stress, and then you work on putting it back in. So that's the first thing. What it does is take the panic out of your finances. Because once you get that level of calm, you stop. Do you ever make a really bad financial decision and then you're like, oh, it's terrible? We just go out to eat. or we're just going to go to the movies, or you actually make it worse because you're somehow reacting to the stress of what happened. Okay, all that goes away. So the second thing is, once you get your $1,000 away, you pay off all your debts by this thing called a debt snowball. Anybody ever heard of a debt snowball? This is actually a really cool process. So think of it this way. Everything except your house, you list an order of the smallest payoff amount, like maybe JCPenney is $237, up to the biggest payoff amount, maybe your car is $18,000. And you do this debt snowball. And so you pay the first, as much as you can on the first one until it's gone. And if you can find any extra dollars, sell some stuff, have a rummage sale, cut back someplace else, any extra dollars, you pay all that off. So maybe your payment was $47. You take that money that you were paying to that card and you add it to what you'd been already doing, the minimum payments or whatever, on the next level, and you roll that in, and so you're making much larger payments there, and when that one's gone, you roll it into the next one. So pretty soon, you're taking that whole chunk that used to be diversified and putting it into one thing. So that pays off your debts generally between 18 and 24 months for most people, and you're left with just your house payment. Now you have a lot more play with your money. You can actually start telling your money what you want it to do instead of creditors and people you owe telling you where your money's going to go. So step 3 then is to put 3 to 6 months aside. 3 to 6 months living expenses aside, so that if you have a medical crisis or you have a job loss, you've got a cushion there, you've got 3 to 6 months, you can work on that. Once you've got that done, now step 4, you start putting away for retirement. Not college first. Put 15% of your retirement away in Roth IRA, and the cool thing about the program is, for the first time in my life, I understood it all. It made perfect sense. It's just the way that he breaks it down, so I can understand Roth IRA versus a different type of IRA, and where do I put my investments? Do I put them in international or small growth or large cap? And finally, I can explain all that. And if you think that it's impossible, 1 hour in this class and you'll understand it. It's the coolest today. Once you get that done, you can put money away for college, and he tells you what types of plans to do that and how to invest that money for college. Step 6 is to pay off your house, and step 7 is to give money away and build wealth, because you've gotten all your payments taken care of. You're living a cash-based lifestyle. You don't have to worry about credit. You don't have to worry about your credit score, because you're paying for things in cash. You don't have to rely on that, and it's pretty amazing. I surveyed my class last night, and every single person said they had major life-changing differences from doing that. So it's called Financial Peace University. It is online at daveramsey.com, and you can ask anyone who's done it, and they'll tell you it'll give you financial peace. Not just master.